Hi, my name is Ali Haji and I am 17 years old. Our planet, which we all call home, is dying and we are not doing enough on a personal scale to stop that from happening. However, when it comes to our houses, we take so many precautions to keep them safe by installing cameras, home security systems like alarms, etc. However, when it comes to the safety and well-being of our natural and real home, which is planet Earth, we take everything with a grain of salt. Sometimes we do not even worry about what will happen if it dies. Whereas the safety and health of our planet is what essentially matters. Because if there is no planet, there will be no houses. Essentially, it's like protecting a diamond in a small jewelry pouch instead of making sure that it is stored in a safe or a vault to protect it from damage or theft. Although we might think nothing will happen during our lifetime, but our children will be the ones who suffer the consequences. The environment is dying right in front of our eyes due to our negligence in securing our planet, which we all call home. We often don't understand what we can do on a personal level to make a difference. The answer to that might just be in our backyard or kitchen counter. There are many ways to reduce negative effects on our environment, and one of those is increasing environmental sustainability. Now you must be like, oh no, that word again, sustainability. Well, many of you have heard that the word getting thrown around left, right, and center whenever anything environmental is being discussed. Nevertheless, most of us do not even understand the correct definition of sustainability. So, what is sustainability? Well, sustainability is the ability to exist constantly, and so the term environmental sustainability literally means the ability of the earth to live constantly. Being sustainable is basically the idea of minimizing the impact that humans have on the earth. Some sustainable practices that can be practiced at home are avoiding the use of chemicals that pollute the environment, practicing sustainable gardening, saving natural resources, and reducing waste as much as possible. To help increase sustainability, you do not need to take huge steps right away, but even small steps like learning how to start gardening in a more sustainable way. For example, using something as simple as a natural and home-made weed killer like a vinegar and salt solution instead of store-bought chemicals can help the environment greatly. Despite being very easy to maintain, most of us do not even attempt to grow simple herbs like mint, basil, etc. in our kitchens or backyards. This alone can help the environment greatly as it would limit the need to drive to the supermarket every time you need to use a fresh herb. Gardening at home should incorporate organic practices since this is an important part of sustainable gardening. The reason for this is because using less chemicals in your garden makes it more ecologically friendly and more cost efficient as well. If you are growing food for yourself or your family, growing food in an organic way is very important as you should nourish your body with healthy food free from harmful chemicals. One of the first steps towards your gardening initiative is by starting from the ground up, by making sure that your soil is good and rich in nutrients. You can introduce compost in the ground to amend the soil, to introduce fresh nutrients. Alternatively, you can use an organic soil mix to grow your vegetables and herbs. Also, if you notice pests, bugs, or diseases on your plants, you can manage them with organic solutions like vinegar and baking soda rather than using harmful pesticides. Gardening can also be done on your kitchen windowsill if you do not have a backyard space. Some plants that work great indoors are basil, oregano, mint, cilantro, green onions, bean sprouts, lettuce, and etc. Here are some cilantro seeds that I grew on my kitchen windowsill, and some green onions that I grew as well. You can easily grow green onions indoors by planting the white part of the green onion after harvesting all the green leaves, just the way I have done. If you garden from home, you can save so much on fuel since you wouldn't have to drive to the grocery store every time you need to buy something small. It only takes a few weeks for most of these plants that I mentioned above to grow. I have personally led initiatives and helped people from my local mosque community to start gardening at home during this COVID pandemic, including many children. Teaching the younger generation is very important as they will be the adults of tomorrow, and if they know how to grow food at home, they can all help the environment by making a difference. So we can all hope for a better and greener future. There are also many YouTube channels that can teach you how to grow vegetables and herbs as well. Such channels are a great resource to learn from, and I personally have gotten most of my gardening knowledge by watching them. We really need to start helping the environment by taking these small steps on our own rather than leaving everything up to the government, because we are in the middle of a mass extinction, as Greta Thunberg describes it as in a speech in 2019. Therefore, we need to do whatever we can in order to save our planet from becoming a part of history. In reference to climate change, according to the United Nations in March 2019, we only had 11 years to prevent irreversible damage to the climate. Now, in March 2021, the number has become 9 years, which means that we need to act vigilantly to stop climate change by doing whatever we can. Since we are all home right now due to coronavirus, we can easily start making a small difference by growing a little bit of food at home. This alone can go a long way. Imagine laying down on the grass in an open field with green trees, a cloudy pale blue sky right above you with birds chirping and flying, and the wind softly blowing, as well as you having no worries about all this beauty disappearing and having no fear of climate change either. However, this can only happen if we take the appropriate steps now to save the planet. Thank you.